right, MKL, we are here with a special team reveal. I know we already, well, let's just get into it. So I'm Ragin, and we got Cookie here as well, and we're here with Shoota Mac, or Mac as we kind of just call him here around the MKL. Longtime member, OG member, and he recently decided to come back to the MKL. And Mac, you already know your team. So I'm just going to let you shout out your team to the league here.
Giants Nation, let's ride.
Giants Nation. So yeah, New York Giants. We all know that Mac is a huge New York Giants fan in real life, and he's pretty much exclusively, maybe with a couple exceptions here and there, been the Giants in the MKL. So when coming back, he made a request to Saxonville, our recent Giants reveal, to switch teams. So he's going to be swapping to a new team, possibly in this video. You'll see what team he swapped to, but he was very gracious to allow Mac his team. So Mac, I mean, what appeals to you on this team? What is of interest to you on this Giants team? Obviously, you know it by heart, probably, but have they gotten better? Have they gotten worse?
I just think with the addition of, the younger guys that they got in the draft, and, still having a pretty young core group of guys, especially at, wide receiver, and got a few key pieces on the D-line, and you have Ojulari and Thibodeau and Evan Neal now for the offensive line. It's very nice, and they're not in cap hell like they were in 22. So,
when I look at this team, they actually have a... if I was to be taking over a team that needed to be rebuilt, I would possibly draft a left tackle, a right tackle, a left pass rusher, a right pass rusher. And the Giants have really set this up for you. 2 young tackles, 2 young pass rushers. They have youth throughout the roster at different positions. And certainly a team you know well and like. But are there any pieces you're maybe looking to move, pieces you're looking to definitely keep? I have it on good authority there might be a wide receiver or 2 that you're interested in getting rid of.
If anybody really wants to take Kenny Golladay or Sterling Shepard, you can have them. And on the defensive side, if anybody wants the tackle machine that is Blake Martinez, he can also be yours.
There you go.
So, Mac, let's get down to business. You've been the Giants before. You haven't really had that good of luck with the team. Is there any, motto or anything you're trying to instill in the locker room this time around to hopefully bring about a different culture to the team?
With the younger guys, you tend to give them a person of inspiration that's in the league that they can look up to, that's leadership, hardworking. So I think the motto for this season is going to be Giants Nation, let's ride.
There you go. So you have a motto for the team. You're looking for them to be motivated this year to kind of turn this ship around. Obviously, you have young quarterback Daniel Jones. Are you looking to stick it out with Daniel Jones, develop him, or are you looking to make a change there?
I think that's the biggest question that I have every time I am the Giants, because all of the intangibles are there. He has the speed. Maybe not the best arm right now, but with being a low 70 overall quarterback coming in with, you have a decent window to get him a few more throw power upgrades and all that, get that arm up. But
sure,
I mean, everything's there. It's just if he devs well and, if I play well with him. If not, I think it's back to the draft.
Yeah, he's definitely in that range. You see a lot of quarterbacks across the league with wheels, with a decent arm that you can develop. And he certainly is still not old. He still has his career ahead of him. And in Madden, that's a guy that can, become something. So interested to see what you do with that. Obviously this Giants team is maybe in Madden terms a step behind the rest of the teams in the division in terms of talent, at least at EA overall. They're the lowest overall team in the division, but I mean, what are your self-expectations for this team? Obviously you got the Cowboys, the Eagles, and Washington maybe more ready to win now, but maybe not. Maybe you're thinking to compete right away. What are your self-expectations for yourself in this league, this year and beyond?
We're setting the bar pretty high. I think we're gonna shoot for second in the division this year.
Mm-hmm.
Show that we're maybe snagging a wild card or right on that line of almost ready to contend but not quite there yet. And then year 2, I think with all the young talent, if that develops fairly nicely across the board and the older veterans step up to play, and with New York being a bigger market and them having the cap space, hopefully get some big names in free agency and really go for it in season 2 and beyond.
Yeah.
So Matt, what you're saying is that you feel like the Giants can really ride, right? Like Giants Nation can really ride.
I think it's best summed up in 4 words. Giants Nation, let's ride.
There you go. So definitely a battle cry for the team. You got a motto for the team. When you're looking at this team, though, you're talking about free agency. One thing I want to make you aware of on this new game, free agents, it's been overhauled. You can only make 5. I know you have a lot of cap space coming up this next year. You can only make 5 weekly offers. And in those offers, the players they're all persnickety now. They, obviously you're in a big city. You have a storied history with the Giants' recent Super Bowl wins with Mr. Eli Manning. But when you're looking at this Giants team, and when you go to free agency, one thing to consider with that, all the money, they may, want to come there or not, just depending on the players' preferences this year. They're going to be looking at if you have an established quarterback, what your previous record was. Are you a contender? Maybe if they want to pair themselves with an elite person on the other end of, cornerback group or something like that. Just something to consider as you build this team forward. It is a different game, but you have tons of money, so I'm excited to see how you build this team up.
I think it's a lot different this year for us, and hopefully with all the stuff that you said, it'll help us land targets a bit more easily if we don't have the season that we're hoping for and it's subpar again. But let's try and avoid that at all costs. In Giants Nation, let's ride.
Yeah, well, one thing when I look at your team, or at least you as a user, I can attest, the last game we played together, you played really, really well. I was impressed as you, obviously, maybe in the past, it's like playing Madden, I'll have a rough game, you'll have a rough game, whatever. But it's that last game, I felt like you're one of the better players I'd played in a while. And I hope that skill passes over to this Madden 23 game. It would be really fun to see longtime user Mac, maybe contending for a Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, I've heard that it's going to be, more of a run first, pass second type of game this time around. Maybe at the first update. So hopefully that goes, hand in hand with me well, because I do enjoy running the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe just go back to the roots and hopefully it plays well for me.
Most definitely. So you have any thoughts or anything, or Cookie, you got any other questions for him?
No.
Okay, all right. And Mac, you got anything else you want to say to the league? Any way you want to end this interview here today?
Giants Nation, let's ride.
All right, you heard it here. He's ready to ride with this team. He's definitely interested to go forward with this Giants team that we know him well to be a part of in the MKL. Excited to see what he does. This has been Ragin' and Cookie, and we're here introducing Macario as the new head coach of the New York Football Giants.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to the MKL team reveals. We're going to be starting off with the AFC East, and I'm here with Doc. Say hi, Doc.
Hi, that's me. That's my name.
Yeah, and I'm Ragin', and we're going to be breaking down these teams before we reveal who the teams are going to. And so, Doc, who stands out to you in the AFC East? What team do you feel like is the one to get, the one that would, allow you the most talented roster?
I think it's got to be the Buffalo Bills themselves, the destroyer of multiple tables. What they got going on in Buffalo is a X Factor quarterback. They're an 89 overall Madden. Got some key pieces everywhere on the field. Dawson Knox, Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis. They have a running back with some speed now. And then on top of that, their defense has Tre'Davious White, Kyer Elam, whoever their second cornerback is. They got a great user in Tremaine Edmonds, a wonderful D-line to rush the passer, which is going to be a big key in this year's success for a team. And then two wonderful safeties on the back end who really love to get after the ball.
Yeah, I mean, this Bills team is going to be highly sought after. I remember that cornerback's name, Taron Johnson. They had that young wide receiver kind of breakout last year as well, Gabriel something maybe. Gabriel Davis, that's right. And so it's a super talented roster. So most definitely, when you get it, you're going to be able to have this coveted QB that you don't get much better than the 99 throw power. I think he's like 89 speed, X factor. He's young. He's a complete package. What's that?
Can hurdle your mom whenever he wants.
That exactly. He's the complete package. But it's a super talented team, and certainly the one that was most requested, along with I believe the Chargers this year,
yes,
among users across the MKL. So the MKL knows what it wants. It wants really talented rosters, really exciting players, and the Bills are no exception. Definitely one to get. Second in the... What's that?
Whoever gets this team is going to be bricked up the night they find out.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, the Bills are the sort of team that when you get them, it definitely puts a smile on your face. You can't be too upset. But second place in the AFC East, I know we have the Patriots, we have the Jets, but this Dolphins team, really exciting young roster, really interesting moves. I know they brought in Tyreek Hill. I knew they brought in a new offensive-minded coach to try to maybe get Tua going. Tua's maybe one of the weaker links on the team. They have Jalen Waddle. Raheem Mostert was brought in, so the speed is apparent. The tight end is extremely solid in Gesicki. Offensive line has made some strides forward. I know that their linebacking group still has that young linebacker that a lot of people like in Baker. Defensive line has some young pieces that can develop. The corners are probably their strongest defensive group with Byron Jones, Xavier Howard, and their safety group has some developable pieces, but certainly a team that will excite people with the various amounts of speed all along the roster, but it's a team that you're going to have to figure out ways to improve, especially see if maybe Tua is your answer going forward.
Right, and especially with Tua being left-handed, I feel like that's a big concern because people love to roll out. So with him being left-handed, some people might, have a big problem with that.
No, that's been a common complaint for sure. Everything is reversed. It definitely changes the play style. But Dolphins, I think we both agree at 1 and 2. What teams we'd most like to have or feel at least are the most talented rosters. Who would you put at the number 3 strongest team in the AFC East?
I gotta go into the team in New York that's not really in New York, the Jets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you maybe have X-Factor quarterback to develop in Zach Wilson. He's a little fast boy with a big arm and fucks moms. What more could you ask for on your team? And then you also have, throwing bombs and banging bombs.
That's him.
It is. And then with their offensive line getting a little bit healthier, they're adding to the wide receiver room, adding to the backfield. I think the Jets are a team that no one's going to want to have to play. And then when you get to the defense, when you have a defensive guru like Salah to kind of help Sauce develop with Bryce Hall as well, and Ashton Davis, and then with the D-line with Quinnen Williams, Carl Lawson coming back, they're definitely going to cause some problems, especially to year 2. Definitely looking at a playoff team.
Yeah, this is a developmental team. This is one of those teams you take. They have young talent across the board, but you're going to have to make it develop. I mean, not every young star that can run really fast and jump really high and throw really far becomes great in the NFL, and that's the same in Madden. If you're not, succeeding with these players, they may stay pretty mediocre throughout their career, but lots of upside throughout the roster. And
user that comes to mind who definitely get these young guys developable and make it to the Pro Bowl year one is Cookie_Snatcher_.
No lies were just said. If Cookie Snatcher were to come back and take control of this Jets team, I think we both know that there's magic that would happen, as it always does. Cookie Snatcher, a former champion in this league, and certainly a Jets fan, he breathes, the same energy that Jets team would need to be able, to be led in a positive direction. So Cookie, come back. The MKL is definitely a place that you should be. I don't want to press too hard, but you definitely need to come back. It's the wrong decision not to come back.
Agreed. Amen.
Right. So we've gone through those three teams. Now we're a surprising maybe fourth team, because we still have the Belichick-led Patriots, and this Patriots team is not what they were. Brady's long gone, but Mac Jones, a young, talented quarterback, more in the vein of a Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers type. He's young, he's developable. What's that?
With a little bit more speed.
A little bit more speed. I believe he's gotten a bump in speed this year based upon some scrambles he did last year. He has some tools. And I know that the offensive line looking strong this year. They have young Damian Harris, a really nice duo at tight end, led by Jonnu Smith. And their wide receiver group is probably the worst group in the league. I don't know. It's arguable. They don't have the greatest wide receiver group, but certainly development is there. Certainly it might be an area that you might want to be drafting towards. But the defense is aging. Some of those stars, Stephon Gilmore, J.C. Jackson, they're long gone. So we're having to develop new stars. Judon did get a nice bump for them in the pass rush. They have a nice safety, Kyle Duggar, I believe, and just really good box safety, somebody with 90 speed, somebody that you can develop there to really help that secondary, go forward. But this is not the Patriots of old, but certainly a lot of talent that you can develop. And if you're a runner, this is the sort of team that you might find some early success with. And don't, everybody wants, maybe the next Josh Allen, but this young quarterback, Mac Jones, I mean, you can win a lot of games with him. He's nearly an 80 overall, very, very young. You might see a Tom Brady career in the MKL out of him if the right user gets a hold of him.
Couldn't have said that better myself. This is personally a team that I would love to take the challenge to. But what drew me away was, like you said, the wide receiver room. I'd rather have Patrick Starr and a G-string playing wide receiver for me than Devontae Parker as my number one.
Devontae Parker is not the number one you want. I will say, Devontae Parker in real life, when he's on, he's a very good wide receiver, but he's often injured and often not on. If he can make a resurgence, some of these players can find the right spot. In the MKL, though, real life won't come into factor, so you'll have to be making those plays with a kind of mediocre player in Devontae Parker. But Patriots, lowest on our list. I like what you did, putting the Jets above, just they have that developmental. Certainly the Bills on top, and then the Dolphins with that exciting offseason with all that speed. But now we're going to go ahead and we're going to break down and show you exactly what teams have gone to what coaches. So team reveals coming up next.
Booyah.
What's up, MKL? This is Ragin, your host for this really chill interview. And today I've got Saxonville here with me. Saxonville, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
Excellent. So, I've really enjoyed your stay in the league so far. You've been posting pictures with jersey numbers counting down the days until Madden's release date. You've been sending really, really humorous memes dissing your division opponents as you were recently revealed as the head coach of the New York Giants. However, we had some drama. We had one of the original gangsters of the MKL return, who was a really big Giants fan, and I understand that our Führer Stinky entered your DMs and asked you about a possible team switch. Can you tell us a little bit about how that went down?
Well, he just let me know, like you said, was the original user. He came back. He was like, he always uses the Giants. Would you mind switching? And I'm like, well, I was kind of head set on the Giants, but I didn't mind switching. And then he said the Patriots, so that was an easy choice. That wasn't a hard choice, because the Patriots, they got a solid team, a balanced team.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I said, I'll switch. I'll make the switch, no problem.
It's so relaxed. That's the vibe we're having right now. Just a relaxed and slow, easygoing interview with our pal Saxonville. I think soon to be a new original gangster of the MKL. I feel like you're really vibing well with what we want to do here. So welcome to you once again. And that's awesome. You were super chill in your switch. You actually felt encouraged. You like this Patriots roster. Take me through it. There's some who would I don't know if you've had a chance to listen to some of these other team reveals, but some have attacked Mac Jones. You've seen some look at this roster and not think it's necessarily ready to go. But tell me a little bit about what your expectation is for this team, and why were you encouraged when you went to go switch to the Patriots, I mean.
Well, I'm looking at it. They have balance everywhere. I mean, you look at the wide receivers. Devontae Parker, Kendrick Bourne, Aguilar. They're 80s across the board. They might not have the speed, but 81 overall, 82 overall. I think it doesn't hit below 80 until MKL Harry, and he's like 72 overall.
That's right.
But I'm excited about the rookie Tyquan Thornton. I feel like I could, surprise a couple people with him. But it's still the Patriots. They still have McCourty. He might be old. They have Duger. They have a lot of pieces. Judon on defense. They have a squad, man. They have nothing's really dropped off. Tom Brady's gone. That's about it. It's still a solid team.
Most definitely. I see your vision. I do want to let you know, I believe McKill Harry was actually traded.
I just realized that. They just probably haven't updated it yet. Well, I don't need them anyway.
Yeah. Well,
Saxonville, I got a question, right? So we were having a talk, right? And we were talking about Mac Jones. Do you plan on keep rolling with Mac Jones in Madden 23, or is he going to be on the trade block?
No, I think I told you. I'm probably going. No, I told Ray I'm going to stay stock. I'm going to try to stay stock and just play with them throughout the whole season. Because what is Mac Jones' throw power?
Is he still 86? Maybe.
Oh God, it's 85. He still has a noodle arm.
Yeah, it should have. That's awful.
So wait, who would want him though? God dang.
Well, think about it this way, Saxonville. When you look at this player, he's a 78 overall. He's 23 years of age, and he can grow. They get upgrades in these things like throw power and speed and accuracy. So, there's also a camp that we provide where you can get an increase in throw power from year one. You can start with 86 by putting him in that camp in year one. And then what you can look at is just deving him up and hoping for that extra upgrade. And he could be up to an 88 throw power. And know this, the time in the pocket has been decreased in Madden 23. So somebody like Mac Jones, you might see have some success picking apart in the short intermediate game. I don't know if you're a fan of the West Coast offense, but something quick, quick reads, he could excel at for you if that's something you're interested in. Obviously, you have Tyquan Thornton, and that's a man that got disrespected. If you're not aware, he was given 95 speed. He probably deserves 99 speed because I believe he ran the fastest time ever recorded for a wide receiver. And it's kind of silly. Then they went and gave Jameson Williams, who didn't even run, a 98. And that was a kind of a questionable feel. A lot of people felt like he'd be closer to a 95. It's as if they switched their speeds. Do you feel like there's been some collusion between those who would root for the Lions and those who would try to undermine the Patriots? This new team that you've created, it's as if they took Tyquan and sent him to the Lions and changed his name.
Yeah, I think there's something going on. There's something going on.
Are you high, bro?
No. This is a jazzy, relaxed interview that we're doing right now, and we're definitely interested to try and have my wife stop calling me mid-interview as well. So we're looking at it, and we're going to definitely try to have her stop calling, but you can see just how interested she is in getting my attention right this second. So give me the rundown. What's your expectation for this Patriots team right now?
Well, as I said, I don't have the speed that I had on the Giants as far as wide receiver, so I'm going to switch it up. I got Damian Harris. I like him as a running back. I feel like he's underrated. He has 91 speed. I could definitely work with that. And just, the short game West Coast offense and dominating the run game, that's what I feel like it'll... Yeah, I like Harris. I didn't know he was... I didn't know he had 91 speed.
Wait, so what are your expectations for the upcoming season? Because the AFC, personally, I feel like it's the superior conference of the NFC. I feel like the AFC has more comp. Do you think you'll be able to compete year one for maybe be a representative from the AFC from the Super Bowl? Or are you just aiming to make the playoffs?
Definitely. I feel like I could compete every season, every year. Doesn't matter what team I have. I have that confidence in my stick. Pause. I have that confidence. But I'm very competitive. I love to play Madden. That's why I'm in the chat, dropping memes and not saying anything. But you see the reaction it's getting from the Cowboys fans. But I got to find some memes for the AFC East, But I'm definitely excited,
Well, you now take the reins of the greatest dynasty of the modern football world. This Patriots team has a lot of history, and you have the chance to put them back on top. So what's your immediate plan? Obviously, it sounds like you're going to remain stock, and you're going to maybe run the ball and let Mac Jones be opportunistic with it. Would that be an accurate kind of understanding of what you're planning to do?
Yes, and smother people on defense.
Okay.
Definitely.
Well, excellent. I'm definitely a big fan of you being so willing to switch teams, and also that this was able to work out well for you, because it sounds like you were excited about having this switch go through. So do you have any way you want to close this interview today?
I'm coming.
All right.
Just watch out, I'm coming.
Saxonville with the Patriots is coming for the AFC East. A willing team player, willing to let the Giants user take over, who's a longtime OG, and Saxonville, an up-and-coming OG in the MKL. Wish you the best of luck, my friend, and thanks, Stanky, for coming in late and providing some good questions while my wife decided to call me incessantly.
No problem. Appreciate y'all.
All right. Well, hey, MKL, we got a little switcheroo. Might not be the last time, but if you can, try to stick with your team because that's what we're all about. All right. Y'all have a great night, and hope this final video finds you happy as you reveal the AFC East. And now we got the head coach of the New England Patriots, Saxonville. Thank you.
Right.
What is up? It is Ragin and Doc. I am Doc.
I am Ragin.
Hello. Yes, that is indeed Ragin. And this time we have Adam, possibly MKL's favorite DILF, in the chat right now.
I'm honored.
So, you gave us your team selection. If throw out a wild guess, who you think you got?
I said the Jets, the Bills, and the Chargers. I personally feel the Chargers were probably a key point because of their depth. They were pretty much all around the field.
They were the most selected team as well,
which I totally understood. You know, that's why I put them as my third. You know, I wasn't going to be too heartbroken. You know, definitely, don't get me wrong, Herbert, great quarterback. You know, they got Keenan Allen. You know, Derwin James on the other side. They got Bosa. Then they just picked up Khalil Mack. But personally, I feel like I might get the Jets because I don't.
You don't feel what?
I think your mic cut out, Adam.
I guess time will tell. We'll find out.
All right, time will tell. Yes, sir. So I'm about to do your reveal right now. It sounds like you're leaning Jets, but you also put Chargers and Bills, and we'll get your immediate reaction. So, Adam, you are the new MKL head coach of the Buffalo Football Bills.
No shit. I got Josh Allen.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
There was a trend with giving IRL fans their teams for MKL this year.
All right.
How do you feel, man? What's your immediate reaction?
I mean, I love Josh Allen. I mean, it's Josh Allen. He's what? He's top 10 for fastest quarterback in the game right now, right?
He's pretty much sexy in every single department of what you look for in a Madden quarterback. Yeah, so pretty freaking sweet. But take us through the rest of your, what you're looking at this team.
I mean, I'm definitely because I did think about my teams quite a bit. I love Diggs. Diggs is an animal.
Mm-hmm.
But Madden is very unforgiving. But no, obviously none of us have played 223 yet. I mean, with this new dynamic passing thing, once we all get it figured out, I feel like it definitely could be a key factor in making a lot of big plays down the road. So I mean, I'll be honest with you, Diggs might be on the table.
All right. Sneaky little info there.
Yeah. I will be completely honest, and I'm probably going to get stabbed in the back for this. I'm not a huge Davis White fan.
Whoa. All right.
But
Major heat coming out today.
Yeah. I will, just being honest. I do love. He's a great player. Don't get me wrong. But again, Madden is very unforgiving.
It is. So with that said, what positions would you be looking for key assets like from Diggs and Tre'Davious White?
I mean, obviously another wide receiver, another cornerback to replace for whichever one I gave up. I haven't entirely looked at their team.
Sure.
Probably some form of a line. I think I would probably need one or two corners. They have Micah Hyde at safety?
They have Micah Hyde and Poyer at safety, and both are superstars this year.
Yeah. Oh, that's a game changer. Poyer probably will not move, I will be honest.
Sure.
Yeah. But Diggs, obviously he's what, 28, 29?
Yes.
Something like that. So, he's going to be on the decline after, 3 or 4 seasons, definitely. But, I mean, what was it? In the last league, he got traded for somebody big, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
So, definitely I'm definitely going to keep a very open mind. I don't expect anyone to make like a game-changing trade week 1 or week 2, because again, we're all going to be figuring out the game. But
you never know.
Yeah,
I feel like with how many people trade, including Ragin and myself, there's going to be some blockbuster deals going down before that.
Yeah, most definitely. What is your expectation in this division, Adam? Like, do you think that maybe you got the Jets, the Patriots, the Dolphins? Like, you don't know who's in your division just yet, but I mean, is there any expectation for playoffs, for contending, for you're just trying to build as you go? I mean, you obviously start off with I think the second highest rated team. So, what's your feeling there?
Well, I definitely don't do very well against everyone in the league, but because this will be my second full season, I believe.
Sure, it's a new game though.
Yeah, no, I know, but yeah, I'm definitely not great. Yeah, I do expect to make a form of an impact. I mean, if anything, I would. I mean, I'm definitely not going to be, top 4. I would probably say I'd maybe a 7th seed, maybe 8th.
Okay.
Bare minimum.
Maybe sneak into the playoffs and maybe get an upset or two.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. Again, I don't see myself going for a Super Bowl in the first 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
But I have had a lot of experience. Like, we had the league where we played with a bunch of guys in that league on 21. The last season I did end up winning the Super Bowl, which is pretty sweet.
Nice.
But, I pretty much look at myself as a big sleeper, to tell you the truth. And you never really know what to expect out of me.
Sure.
Like some games I might go out, throw 300 yards max, and I'll rush for like 80 yards. Another game I might rush for 140 and pass for 195 or something like that.
If you can maybe catch fire at the right time, maybe you can do some damage with this team.
Yeah. I mean, because the thing that I'm banking on with the Bills mostly was everybody is going to be running 3 deep on the Dolphins because all they have is speed.
Yep.
Tua, if he's developed, could be a great quarterback, but unless you're a natural left-handed, like real person type thing,
right?
It's going to be a process to figure that out. Like, I actually almost put the Dolphins, but I was like, probably so many people are going to pick him.
Yeah, there was a lot of picks for the Dolphins, but also quite a few for the Bills.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm definitely not mad about my pick by any means.
Good, man. Well, we wanted you to be happy. I mean, real life fan is my understanding, and that was our mentality coming into it, giving this team to you. We're excited to have you, and really nice to be able to talk to you, and I hope you'll stick with us. And the MKL is best when we got active people, we're having fun and enjoying themselves. So I wish you the best in this year, and this has been your head coach reveal for the Buffalo Bills. It's Adam this year. And this has been Doc and Ragin and Cookie on silent. So, all right. Thanks for joining us, guys.
What's up? It's your boy back again, Doc with the Glock, here with Ragin, a.k.a. Travie Patty. Here with our main hitter, Zay. Say what's up, Zay.
All right. So this is take number 3. We're going to keep moving. But so far, Zay might be having issues with his mic. And if he does, maybe we'll delete it. But we'll see what happens. Zay, you don't know what team you have. Do you?
No, I think I'm like the London City Monarchs or something.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure.
No, you're not too far off. Any team can be the London City Monarchs. So, if you dream big enough, if you beg stinky hard enough, maybe that will be your team someday. But currently, Doc is going to reveal to you what team you have, and we will get your live reaction.
So, I lied to you, Zay. I said you were going to be the Bengals, but you turned out to be, the New York Jets. And with this comes the responsibility of not letting Cookie down.
Nothing, Zay. We don't know what's going on, but maybe you died and went to heaven because you are so thrilled to have this Jets team that Doc told me was pretty high on your list. but I can't hear you saying anything right now. So hopefully you didn't have a heart attack because you're so disappointed. But nothing's coming through. You there? Damn it.
Tough.
What are we doing, Zay? Zay, we can't hear a blessed thing you're saying. It sounds like
I'm
you're
here, man.
There you are. There you are. Tell us a little bit about how you feel. What's that?
Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson, he's my guy, man. He's my guy. We're going to go out there, hunt some cougars, and we're going to get down to business.
Ooh, I love it.
He's the leader of this team. He's going to shout for us, and he's not only going to get himself some cougars, but he's going to get everybody on the team cougars, and we're just all going to be playing like 99 overalls once we're fucking all of Zach Wilson's mom's hot friends. So we're just going to be down to business.
You know what?
16-0, 17-0, whatever it is now. Cookie, this is for you.
Beautiful, beautiful. There was a lot of passion there. There was also some profanity. So I'm gonna have to not mark this next video kid friendly, and that's okay. This is the MKL. We're some badasses in here. Tell us a little bit about what you love about this roster besides Zach Wilson. Tell us something. Tell us anything more.
Or is that now the final plans?
What pieces excite you the most besides Zach Wilson? Because it's not just a quarterback; it's who he has around him. You know.
Awesome. Hey, you know what?
Good answer.
Hey, if you're gonna win the Super Bowl in year one, just stay silent, Zay.
Talking?
I guess. Yeah,
all right. Zay, if you want to trade me some of your best players, just don't say a word.
Can you guys hear me?
We can definitely hear you right now. Share with us a little bit of something. Yeah. What more? What do you want to say to the league? What's your battle cry? You know what type of success do you think you're going to have with this team in the immediate sense and in the long term sense?
17-0 every season and win the Super Bowl every season.
That makes sense. I mean, we see that potential in you, Zay. We're definitely believers. I think you finished that with the word bitch. And that's that flavor, that's that intensity that we love that you bring to the MKL. So if you're going to be here for the long haul, we're happy to have you in this league, man.
Yeah, I'm a people's guy.
You're a people's guy. That's right. Man of the people. Doc, you got any questions for Zay?
Zay, is there anyone that you're looking to trade right away from this Jets roster? You know, got a lot of young pieces. You might be able to get some veterans to kind of help lead your team to success year one.
Bro, we got Zach Wilson's mom. That's the only vet we need,
and will we be seeing Zach Wilson's mom on the sideline cheering him on, cheering you?
Assistant. And that's who she is. My personal assistant.
All right, so Zay with Zach Wilson's mom, gonna make big things happen. 18-0 every year, Super Bowl every year, dedicating his progress in this league to Cookie, his success dedicated to Cookie. We love to see it. We love that you're our new Jets coach. Anything more you want to say to the league, Doc? Any more questions?
I think that's about it for Zay. You know, he better live up to the hype of Cookie. Better have every single player in the Pro Bowl. Is all I'm saying.
Be in the Pro Bowl because I'm gonna be in the Super Bowl.
Ooh.
All right. Well, we love to hear it. We definitely think you have that Pro Bowl, Super Bowl potential. Thanks for joining us, Zay. And this has been the team reveal for your head coach of the New York Jets. Hey guys, it's Ragin, and I'm here with Doc.
Hello.
Yes, sir. And we're also here with DBD, one of our longtime members of the MKL. Say what's up, DVD.
How's it going, guys? What's good?
Yeah, we're excited to get this team reveal started. We know you guys have been anxious to know what team you'll be running with in the MKL for Madden 23. First off, what team do you hope you got? What team do you think you got? What are your thoughts?
I think I'm the only Miami guy in here, so I'm always hoping to get the hometown team, but that's always my goal.
I hear you. Any love for any other teams at all, or is it kind of just Miami or bust for you?
Kind of just Miami or bust for me.
All right. Well, Doc, reveal to DVD what team he was awarded.
It was a tough decision because Miami was definitely a hot team. And Junk, for all 5 teams, said he wanted Miami. But, from the Excel sheet we made, we tried to give the people who were IRL fans of their teams, the teams in Madden. So congratulations, you did get Miami.
There we go.
Yes, sir.
And, I do have a question for you. Do you plan on competing year one? And what's your goals with Tua? Like, what's the direction you see with him?
I always like to call myself a QB whisperer. Whatever I ended up, I would always take that QB and develop them really well. So I think I can turn Tua's career around pretty good.
Excellent. QB whisperer. That's important. There are a few elite QBs in the MKL and Madden 23, but certainly there's QBs that can become elite QBs. We've seen Easton Stick of all people become, a superstar Pro Bowl QB in this league. So Tua certainly is developable.
Yeah,
sure.
There's any issues with him being left-handed, or is that not an issue with you?
Not an issue. I've used him before. Ever since we drafted him. Look at my profile picture. Always been a big Tua guy, so.
Yes, sir. Tua right there on the profile picture. I mean, it feels good. I think it's something we definitely pride ourselves in. If we can give people the team they wanted most and somebody that'll motivate them to stick with us and have a good time, that's something we definitely want to do. So break down this team. Tell us kind of your wants, your desires, something that really excites you this year for this team, or something that you want to definitely improve.
I think everyone, the first thing you look at when you see this team is they got speed on offense. They got Tyreek, they got Jalen Waddle, they got Mustard on running back, but I think a really underrated part of this team is they're very young on defense. They got Jalen Phillips coming off the edge, they got Holland in the secondary, they got a young cornerback in Igbo who can learn behind some of the 2 vets. They got a corner, and then obviously, they got a couple of young guys at middle linebacker with Jerome Baker and a 91 speed Channing Tindall as a rookie. So they definitely got some young defensive pieces that I think go a little under the radar just because of all that speed on the offense.
Most definitely. So you feel like you're going to be making some noise with this Dolphins team, but maybe you will build up this youth on defense to match some of this explosiveness on offense. What's your self prediction for success this year?
Thankfully, the AFC has a lot of teams in a similar position that are kind of not necessarily, Rams style loaded up for 1 year wonder. So I think I'm in a good spot to at least compete with the Bills for that division year one.
Awesome.
Obviously, I don't think the Jets or Patriots are going to be factors year one, but they will be teams to look out for down the road, particularly the Jets.
Sure.
I guess I'll just have to see who's in the division with me.
Most definitely. I mean, that's something we all like. Once you get your team, then you think, okay, who's our immediate competition? Like, do you see anybody on your team that you want to tell the whole league this person's available or this person's off limits?
It's tough to say. I think the 2 vet cornerbacks be had. They're definitely on very expensive contracts. I definitely don't like to move the young guys. I like to develop them and keep them. I'm not a big trader. Obviously I made a couple splash trades back in my day, but I think this year I'm going to try to keep the team and develop them as best I can. I think picks are going to be a big factor this year because I think we're going to go a lot longer than we used to.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely not going to try to offload those too early.
Yeah, I think, we definitely have, new admins in the league, and we definitely are interested in going longer, and you have youth. and certainly experience here to know how to build a team. You know, we've seen your teams, we've seen, you know, what you can do, and in 23 it's a whole new ball game. So yeah, you definitely could, you know, take a step and, you know, win that Super Bowl in the league. Like it all depends on, you know, who kind of masters this game first, because it's going to be new for all of us. Doc, you got any questions?
No, but I do like the standpoint of kind of sticking by your team. I feel like that's going to promote the longevity of the league. And I know with DBD's previous success in making playoff runs in MKL, I do see him making a big run with this team. This is probably the best Madden team as far as like speed-wise. So he'll probably make some noise.
Yes, sir. And so DBD, thanks so much for joining us. We hope you are psyched about your Dolphins. And definitely we were excited to give them to you because we know, I believe they were on the top of your list, and obviously in chat you said they are on the top of your list. So any
I'd want, so I'm definitely thrilled for that, guys.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So any shout outs, anything you want to say to the league, trash talk or predictions, or just I'll see you.
I think I usually want to let my game do the talking. You know, I think those who know me know that I can put up some numbers when I want to, but I think I'll let my game do the talking this year.
I love it. All right. Well, this was Doc and Raging with DBD, our new Dolphins coach.
Have a good night, guys.
All right. You too. All right, MKL, it is I, Ragin, and I am here with Mr. Steady. Steady, say what's up.
What's up?
All right, he sure did. He said exactly what I said to say, and we are here for the AFC East prediction video. This was recorded prior, but we had a switcheroo, so we're doing it again because we want it to not be outdated by the time we release it. And essentially, we're looking at these AFC East teams. We've got Adam with Buffalo. We've got DBD with Miami. We've got Zay with the Jets. We've got New England with now Saxonville, previously on the Giants. And then we obviously had Mac join the Giants team. And let's just go quickly and look at the NFC East. Obviously, we already did that one a while back. Does this change anything for you? I think originally our consensus was Sniper at the top of the power rankings. We had Ante at number 2. We had Jamari and Giants. I think maybe we had some discussion with. Do you think this puts maybe Mac above Jamari, Ante, or Sniper in this division? Or maybe Mac still at the bottom due to that weakness of the team? Or what are you thinking?
It kind of pains me to say, but I do think that the Giants are probably the 4th team in that division. The team just isn't very good at all, and I feel like we haven't seen that MKL success in the past with Mac and the Giants. So I'm not sure what he's going to do to make sure that the team's successful this time. But I'm not gonna bet on that horse, right? Why would I bet on a horse that's lost every race? You know what I'm saying? So
I hear you.
He's at the bottom for me. What do you think?
No, I agree with that, honestly, just because the weakness of the team. When I look at this Giants team, I'm not really overly wowed by any position on offense. And honestly, I'm not really wowed by any real position at defense. I feel like it's all potential at this point. And Mac did say this year he's going to kind of rebuild, improve his team. And next year, he said, is his year where he's going to try to make that run and make his mark, in the MKL. So, I think that's fair then. He didn't say this was his year. Jamari, Ante, and Sniper sounded like they were a little bit more optimistic about their chances, being able to compete right away. So, yeah, I still think that puts Sniper 1, Ante 2, Jamari 3, and Mac at 4. So now we're gonna run back to our original. This is what the video has been about for the last 30 minutes or so. God forbid an hour, but I haven't added it all up yet. So we're looking at the AFC East, and we have Saxonville taking over the Patriots. Obviously, previously was Giants, and Saxonville is a confident user, and he likes this Patriots team. And he said, I messaged him about trades. I literally messaged everybody about trades, and Saxonville said he's not really interested in making any trades. He wants to see just how good he can be with this Patriots roster. He feels like there's some issues, but he maybe can look into free agency to plug some of that. But I'm interested to see what he does. But as far as myself, when I look at Buffalo, and Adam, when I look at Miami and DVD and New York Jets and Zay, I personally put DVD at the top. I don't know what you're thinking here. I like Adam. I like Zay. I like Saxonville, but I think DVD with this pairing of Miami team that is fast in Madden, it has some dominant positions, especially at corner and wide receiver, and potential to really compete right away depending on how this game goes. I see DVD at the top personally. Do you agree with that assessment?
I don't, and I don't know if you want to hear me talk about my thoughts on the Miami roster or not, or if you got it. Or
That's
what?
All right.
But
move on to who's your thoughts on number one?
My number one is Zay and the New York Jets.
All right.
So I don't know if you're talking about the Jets now, or if because we didn't really talk about DVD at all. We just said he was number one.
Essentially with DVD, I just put him up there because the corners, the wide receivers. I feel like he's been a competitive Madden user in this league before. I think he has speed all throughout the roster, developable pieces, and I feel like this is a team that when I look at the rest of the user team pairings, I just put him nearer to the top. You put the Jets number one. I just see Zay as a good, possible user in this league to win games. But then when I look at this Jets team, I feel like they're further away. There's nothing at running back. That right away at least. It has to develop at wide receiver. They have some pieces, but in my opinion, they have to develop at tight end. I don't feel like there's really anything. Offensive line, they have a couple pieces that are getting stronger. Defense, there's pieces throughout. Quinnen Williams certainly is one that jumps out, but it's like head to toe, I just don't think this is a very strong roster. And so when you line them up, I feel like a lot of these users in this division are going to benefit from a strong roster or suffer from a weak roster. And I see Zay possibly being one to have a difficult time succeeding right away with this Jets team, but maybe might be the favorite down the line.
So I will say I do think Miami has, a really good roster, probably one of the best in the game, especially for a league. Obviously their biggest hole quarterback is, I feel like that's pretty easily filled. You trade for like an old guy that somebody doesn't want,
right.
Matthew Stafford gets shipped around a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if some, people in the league shift around Russell Wilson if they wanted to rebuild that team. Anyway, they just need a quarterback, and they don't need like a crazy one. They just need a guy who can throw the ball far, because they have like literally the best receiving core ever in Madden for like the whole franchise.
Right.
So really insane roster, but I just don't think that DVD is good enough as a Madden player, to stay atop this division. I feel like Zay, he doesn't have the best team, right? But I do think that's a very young team, and by the end of the season, they could be, very talented. Like they're only going up. They're all super young. Right. They drafted all these pieces you talk about. They don't have a running back. They drafted Brees, whoever at running back, and obviously they got Ahmed at corner, who's going to be really good, potentially a superstar. I'd be surprised if he wasn't a superstar actually. Obviously they have an amazing quarterback. The Mill Slayer. I'm not super appreciative of the fact of, what he did, or, I guess it's not like confirmed, is it? I'm not a fan of what, Mr. Wilson did, but he is very good at the game of football in Madden. I think this team is going to be very good by the end of the year after Zay's done Devin guys. We saw him force feed that one Colts receiver, right, in this last league.
Right.
I don't see why he doesn't do that again, and hopefully he gets a little luckier with the devs this time, because that guy was a normal dev and didn't ever dev up. He had like 40 touchdowns. So, with time, I think this is definitely Zay's division. I even have him winning season one, but if DVD were to win the division, I feel like, that's what's likely to happen, but I just believe in my boy Zay, you know what I'm saying? He's just so big and girthy and huge, and
wonderful.
I love him.
Beautiful. Hey, so, honestly, when you look at these prediction videos, even in real life sports TV, obviously we're in real life, but I'm just saying, like, real life sports TV, if they disagree, I think it makes for a better discussion. So I'm happy to have you see things differently, and I definitely could see Zay taking over this Division 2 in time, and then we have two. We have Adam kind of came in, didn't have as much success. I think he was maybe the Cardinals at the end of MKL last year. Well liked. And then Saxonville's come in. In my opinion, he's been pretty well liked. He's active in this league already. That's one reason why we bumped him from the Giants and immediately gave him the Patriots. We didn't want to take his team away. Stinky went into his DMs and actually asked, and Saxonville said, oh yeah, he's a Giants fan, I'll move to the Patriots. He was gracious about it. And honestly, when I look at these two users, the Patriots team has a lot of talent. Obviously you put Zay number 1 and DBD number 2. I put DBD number 1. You put Zay number 2. Is that correct?
Yes, but what'd you say about the Patriots having talent? I mean, I might need to hear that.
Oh, yeah, they do. They have some talent at tight end. I like that young running back. If you say it's a running game, that Harris kid can become something pretty nice. He's like 24, like 83 overall star, like good trucking, 91 speed. Like I feel like he has some real potential there. And then when you look throughout the rest of the Patriots roster, they have some young developable Josh Uche. They have a decent vet corner that can kind of teach up the rest of these guys. I like their safety, Duggar. They have some pieces on this team. Obviously, it's not just like great, but there's pieces that, especially honestly, the offensive line. And if you say it's a running game, as you have classically said so far in these interviews, I see this Patriots team having a stronger running game right away than Buffalo. And Buffalo has the stronger quarterback, but can Adam harness Josh Allen into early success? I'm not sure. I hope so, because I like Adam.
The answer is definitely no, but that's okay. It's all right,
So does that mean you're putting Saxonville and the Patriots at 3?
I do have them at 3, but I do think that the Patriots are one of the worst rosters in the game. I personally don't think I'd ever be able to play in a league with the Patriots, which is unfortunate. I mean, they're just so bad at everything, and I do like Duggar. I do like Tyquan Thornton. The quarterback situation, I mean, just awful. One of the worst quarterbacks in the game, and Mac Jones.
All right.
Damian Harris is fine.
All right. Let me interrupt you. You have classically said that this year, meh quarterbacks who don't have abilities are going to be much more similar to superstar quarterbacks. You haven't seen much of a difference. And then you said you're not going to have nearly as much time in the pocket. You have to get it out quick. So why wouldn't a 23-year-old, 78 overall star quarterback who can throw accurately short right now be able to succeed in a quick run and gun offense?
Well, Mac Jones has like negative 100 throw power.
That's not
really
true.
Gonna hold him back.
It's not.
It's really bad. It's actually just not usable. No matter who you are, you're gonna try and be throwing short, and the ball's gonna be in the air for way too long. And these defenders, they react before you even throw the ball. They know who it's going to. Like the reaction times on the defenders are insanely quick. They're going to cut passes off that are short that like any other quarterback might be able to fit it in with a bigger arm.
Sure.
So I think it's going to be real problematic to be trying to pass in general with these really bad quarterbacks, unless in terms of throw power, at least I could care less about accuracy. We play on comp, doesn't matter. I could have like 40 accuracy and we're probably chilling as long as there's not pressure.
Well, in this league, you can boost your throw power by deving, and you can also boost your throw power one time in a camp.
Okay, but you say that, I'm interrupting you now. We got rid of one of the camps that people are going to be using. No more mentors, so that significantly limits Mac Jones' power. And you think about even last year, right? We saw one of the best users in the league, Mo, try and use Mac Jones, and he at first he's pretty nonchalant. He's like, yeah, man, I'm gonna make Mac Jones good, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make Mac Jones good. It's kind of what he sounds like.
Right.
Well, he takes Mac Jones and he says, wow, Mac Jones is awful and terrible, and I got fleeced. So why would this user who, presumably isn't, nearly as good as Mo, a new guy, I don't know who he is, I mean, let's just assume he's, middle of the pack. Why would he be able to have a quarterback when last year in a game where passing was pretty good, I mean, offense in general was amazing, and now when defense is amazing, he's suddenly going to be able to dev a quarterback? Absolutely not. This guy is not devable. Okay, you can't dev this guy. If Mo couldn't do it, who can? Nobody. All right, nobody wants to take the chance on Mac Jones. He's one of the worst quarterbacks in Madden, and until he develops arm strength, he's going to be terrible at Madden for the rest of his life. Unless he gets because Joe Burrow, right, he's also doesn't have an arm, but at least he has abilities, right? So that's you got to make it work. he's not going to have that. He's not good enough.
And
his throw power is considerably worse than even Joe Burrow, so he sucks. So keep talking about how good Mac Jones is.
I think it's potential, and when I look at players that are accurate, to be able to make accurate throws, short and quick, I feel like he can do that. Is he going to throw it over the top super far? Probably not. But he's going to have time to let routes develop. Route running is improved this year. And if the defense is improved, it's because we're waiting on routes that used to work. And now what they've done is they've made those routes more difficult, and we're going to have to find new routes that I've heard are shorter, quicker, and you have to find the windows. So it's all about understanding when to hit the windows. It's not waiting till they get to the sideline. The sideline's not going to be as much in play as, this route, you have to actually read a defense, look at it, and watch the route and hit the window when it's open. It's not like coverage is smarter this year, like you said, but Mac Jones' accuracy is going to be important, and he's 23. It's possible with the right user. I mean, you don't think this guy's only going to throw 40 interceptions and no touchdowns all year for negative 1,000 yards, but I bet you'd say that. But it's like, obviously, he's devable. He's going to improve. He's 78 overall in 23. I feel like he could be 85 overall in 24, and maybe he could be closer to 88 overall in 25. Like, he can get better. He can get abilities. And if you play him right, if you run this team, I feel like you can have some success with Mac Jones. I do believe. I think that throw power has been important classically, but I think the throws we're going to be asked to make and succeed at in Madden 23 is going to be more about accuracy in windows rather than power to go over the top or to hit a space, like over or under or to the right, or even low throws now are like 50% inaccurate. Like, it's going to be about throw windows and accuracy, and I think Mac Jones is going to be able to do that better than some.
Well, I'll tell you what, as a passer, right? I mean, let's look at Braden's resume here. Does not pass the ball.
Pro Bowl quarterback.
He hasn't played the beta, and he's always been known as a runner. Why would we listen to this guy?
Right.
He's not a freaking valid source on this topic, okay?
When you look at my resume...
I will say... No, I'm talking, sir. Okay? What you did is you spammed Escape Artist with Kyler Murray and had 1 million rush yards, okay? And that's what happened, because rush yards are very important to, like, awards and whatnot, okay? Now, let's talk about everybody who's trying to dev quarterbacks this year. Stinky is going to be going for X Factor. I currently don't have a quarterback, but you presume I'm going to be passing a lot to get a quarterback up there. And also running back, you can run with anybody, I feel like. It doesn't really matter. I don't need a Billy as my running back. Mo doesn't have a quarterback. He's going to be trying to def up, presumably Derek Carr to superstar. All of our best users are going to be stat padding their quarterbacks, let's be honest. So to say that Mac Jones is going to be in this conversation, especially because he doesn't have an arm to make these deep passes that we're probably going to be throwing at all our opponents to get our yards, it's silly.
But
and
there's
Mac Jones is a bench warmer at best. At best he'll be one of the best backups in the NFL.
There are
outside of that, he will not be good at football.
There are new dev things in season now. Like, you don't even have to have end of season stats. You have to have a hot streak. And if you play the right teams, and obviously he's going to be playing a Jets defense, he's going to be playing a Dolphins defense that, has some good corners but questionable pass rush and everything else. It's like, you can have a string of good games and dev up without having to throw for 5,000 yards. The game used to not... I want to see the game care about interceptions. Like, if somebody throws like 100 touchdowns and they throw like 110 interceptions, they should go negative a dev. They shouldn't go positive. That's horrible. But so when you talk about me and my resume, let me just set the record straight. There's nobody historically in MKL that has been more 50-50 run to pass ratio than Ragin. And I have had Pro Bowl quarterbacks, not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, more than that. It's like I've had Easton Stick go to multiple Pro Bowls. I had Trevor Lawrence go to Pro Bowls. I'm not even sure Kyler went to a Pro Bowl that year, but he probably did. But essentially, my Pro Bowler resume has been quick, smart decision passing and having a good quarterback rating due to throwing a good touchdown to interception ratio. And people say, oh, it's because you run. Well, obviously, that's why you have balance. So they think you're gonna run and you throw a nice pass. Like that's what football is in real life. You don't just line back there and throw all day. If you never ran, you'd suck in real life. I mean, you have to have some sort of balance, at least a screen game to keep them honest. And that's that. I mean, I'm a 50-50 guy, but I have a ton of Pro Bowl success in this league. I do take minor offense just because you don't throw for 7,000 yards in a video game doesn't mean your 4,500 yard, 5-to-1 touchdown interception ratio is bad.
All right, guys. Well, if you'd rather listen to the opinion of a mid-passer rather than the best passer in the MKL,
Woo!
Feel free to do that. But I'm telling you right now, Mac Jones, especially if he stays in New England, is not going to be really any better than he is now. He's pretty limited. He's going to be stuck at star depth. So maybe if he got shipped off somewhere, that was like amazing. I don't even then though, it's tough because we saw, one of the better passers, Mo, not use this quarterback with his really good team. So
sure.
I think the odds are very slim. This division prediction has quickly devolved into fighting about whether Mac Jones is good. I mean, he's awful. And we all know it. Rajan's one of the only people who thinks he's good, and that's okay.
I don't think he's...
Goes to show how credible his opinions are.
My wife...
Let's move on.
Okay, all right, I won't talk about my wife. All right, so when we're looking at the Bills, when we're looking at the Patriots, you still have the Bills last, despite the fact that Mac Jones is not your cup of tea. Is that more an indictment of Adam?
Yes. Adam is one of the worst Madden players I've ever seen in a league. And I don't think that's going to be any different. Now, at the beginning of the year, he might see more success as nobody knows what they're doing. And I feel like having the game being very defensively oriented, like defense is insane. I tell everybody, every online game has 12 sacks per side. You know what I'm saying? And they've said in these patch notes they're keeping it the same. So screw us beta players, huh? But I think that benefits, bad Madden players a lot when they don't have to think as much about what they're doing on defense. Personally, I consider my defense very good. I make a lot of adjustments, and I stop somebody when they're spamming plays. But somebody like Stinky, he struggled last year on defense, because the game wasn't making plays for him. He could not sniff a stop. Meanwhile, the better players could get a stop every now and then. So with the skill gap being lessened on defense, I do think that potentially Adam, could be something, especially if he's a little smarter passing the ball. But considering what he's done, of course, the resume once again, just really could not score last year in a very offensive oriented game. So that's obviously going to hold him very, very far back. But he does have what I think is one of the best rosters in the league. It's going to be sad seeing them be awful.
It's a great roster. I mean, I think Adam probably belongs at the bottom of this list. But I do love this team, and I really like Adam, so I'd love to see him have success. I don't want to see Adam not succeed. It's what have you done for me lately? And if he improves, awesome. I think a lot of us will root for that. But I think he's deserving at the bottom here just for the recent Madden play. And he said so in his own interview. He wasn't like stomping his own. He was very much humble and said, hey, he'll just play his best, do what he can. And certainly, if he gets a little bit of a rhythm going with some of these guys, Knox and Diggs and Allen, maybe develops Cook out there, gets that offensive line maybe slightly stronger, that defense is likely going to play well. And let me just say this. I mean, when you talk about think less talented Madden players are maybe going to succeed this year, I'll say maybe some of that cheese that was fake as shit is going to die this year. I mean, because when you look at a lot of the success of players of the previous Madden, it was fake, time in the pocket, rolling out, no pass rush pressure. That's not football. That's not NFL football. And if it's a Madden game, it's supposed to simulate real life. And they don't have all the time in the pocket obviously Tom Brady, but look at that offensive line. If you have a great offensive line, maybe in years past they say offensive line doesn't matter. Maybe it should. Maybe that would reflect real life. And if you look at pass rushes in real life, what did this Rams team do? Stafford was pretty decent, but Aaron Donald was collapsing pockets. Von Miller was screaming off the edge. That you had to get the ball out quick against this defense, or you weren't going to have a lot of success. So I mean, when I look at when I look at any of these sort of situations, I see, you know, I'm getting a spam call right now, which is great, but essentially, yeah. Well, when I look at the game, I think that the defense needed to be tuned up, because when players sit back there and watch all these deep route develops all the time and make simple adjustments, and pass rush of 99 overall players at all 4 defensive line positions or pass rush don't get through in like 3 or 4 or 5 seconds like real life, it's just not real. It's fake. It's cheese. It's a video game, sure, but let's have more realism. Let's be good at real life sort of football, where we had to make quicker decisions, and when you drop back there for a deep pass, sometimes you got to dump it off because the pass rush gets through. I mean, that's real life, man. I'm looking forward to it. I want pass rush to be a thing. I understand that maybe you can say that that's not so much what they're doing, but if they build a defensive line that's way better than your offensive line, you shouldn't have all day to chuck it deep. You should have to make adjustments and find a way to win, like some of these teams have against great defenses. They'll throw a lot more screens, run a lot more, inside zone runs or draws to try to neutralize blitzing and pass rush, and that's real life. I want to see more of that. I want to be good at a game and realize I think it would be awesome to have the best player in this league have a realistic stat line to average like 35 points a game and throw for like 300 yards a game and maybe 2.8 touchdowns. None of this 7 touchdowns. It's like, why can't we have real stats, man? That's how I feel. Obviously, you have said maybe there's a lot more sacks. I think that will be an adjustment for people who are learning this is a new game. You're not going to have 700 sacks unless people sit back there acting like they're playing Madden 22. But if they play more along the lines of a real football, simulation game, there won't be 700 sacks because they won't be playing stupid, acting like they're going to have 5 minutes in the pocket.
All right, guys, you just heard the terrible opinions of Ragin, one of the people who contributes to Madden on the horrible decline that it's on, making the game way worse, and these, awful sim footballers taking our comp Madden game and making it really terrible. You look back to Madden 20, right? Insane pass rush. Every player, you look at the top league in sacks in Madden 20, sacks used to cap out at like 53.5 and they'd stop counting, and there would be a bunch of guys who had 53.5. The pass rush in that game doesn't even compare to how good it is in this next Madden. And then Braden wants to come in and invalidate everybody by saying, well, it's an adjustment. I'll tell you what, buddy, every single play is an insta-shed, and you need to get rid of the ball. It doesn't matter who, really. And so you just get rid of the ball instantly, and passing is dead, and that's why we're all going to be running the ball next year. Once we all find out how terrible. Excuse me, sir, I didn't interrupt you during your thing.
That's true.
Did I?
That's true.
Okay. So, all these guys are like, man, keep it the same. It's so much more realistic. It's just benefiting them as runners. If Ragin really, knew how to pass, this isn't the opinion we'd have. And I'm cool with, insane pass rush time or whatever, talking about realism. If we were a sim Madden league, we're not a sim Madden league. We're a comp Madden league. We want what's best for the comp side of things. And right now, the skill gap is just getting less and less. We're going to have everybody running the ball, which is significantly easier. You can't throw an interception running the ball. You can't really get punished unless you fumble, which is based on chance. Really takes away from the comp side of things. So we could very well be heading into one of the worst Madden games ever, in recent history. You know what I'm saying? One of the worst modern Madden games. And it's all to the fault of guys like Ragin.
I will say that
Ragin.
I watched a video,
Very cool.
Some guy named Mayweather or Rayweather, and he said that they tuned down pass rush yesterday. They said on the beta early on there was a bunch of insta sheds, and now insta sheds are much more rare, but they're still more likely than they were in Madden 22. So he said the pass rush is still going to be a force, but it's not nearly as dominant as what a lot of beta users saw. So you might like that.
That sounds great because it was a huge issue. Especially it was worse in computer games. Like, I literally couldn't beat the computer because every single player would shed as soon as the ball snapped. Like, literally everybody.
Right.
It's like they weren't even blocking at all. Swiss cheese, no matter how many you block. So computer games are pretty unbearable, but online it was a little better. Still terrible enough where people were only running the ball. One of the most proficient offenses in this beta was goal line, running the ball every play.
Right.
And it's unbelievable how many guys I faced that didn't even try and pass. I played 20 games. Literally 75% guys didn't even try and pass. So that's the Madden we're heading into, guys. I hope you look forward to it. And all your complaints can be sent to Raging because it's all his fault and people like him.
Hey, I didn't even get to play the beta.
That does it, huh?
Yeah, that does it.
People are saying that people love these changes because, you know, they're not getting crapped on by the better Madden players anymore.
No.
All they got to do is run the ball.
If it's a new game, you got to be good at the game you're given. And I will say they tuned down pass rush.
It's a game that's not fun.
Let's
Nobody
just
wants
say,
to sit in goal line the whole game.
if you have Aaron Donald on the other side of the line, and in the clutch, he breaks through for an insta-shed sack, are you going to say that's so fake? Because that's real. Aaron Donald does break through and bust up the big play.
But you think about, you know, like people play comp on MUT, right? If everybody is like they're all around the same skill level, right? Unless like your team's super outdated, why should my awesome players just like get crapped on like that when they're equally as awesome, you know? It's not like we ever see players get like when is the offensive line ever like insta-one and they'll be one-on-one with somebody and be like, you know, oh man, wow, they just they just pancaked that guy crazy, you know? It only really happens in like double teams. So it's just not equal, and it's going to be a shame when we're watching some competitive Madden games here, and out of nowhere some bum gets an insta-shed and completely kills, you know, a game-winning drive because they got lucky, chance. It's at Madden's at its best, especially for comp. You don't put that in sim, fine, right? But comp Madden, the better the player, they get less time, that's fine, but it shouldn't just be like, oh, this one time I'm just going to instantly shed and crap on you and, force you to lose the game because you rolled low on this percent chance, That's not how it should be.
I want dominant players to play dominantly in big spots.
They would still play dominant. I mean,
Insta-sheds in big spots are dominant.
Important.
But
dude, that's OP. That's not fair.
Well, if it's occasional,
you could have a 99 tackle and it's like not going to matter. Okay, it's favored to defense.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Issue.
I think they tuned it. But we're going to the 30-minute range, and I'm kind of ashamed to be at the 30-minute range. So we are going to end this review here, and I think the discussion has been invigorating. I think it's been friendly, so much friendship, and obviously steadying our friends. But when I look at this, we have the AFC prediction. I think we did a good job in that. And then when I look at we made a quick adjustment with the NFC East with Mac joining the division. And honestly, I think originally I put Saxonville above Jamari there. Honestly, I think it was maybe Mac joining late. Honestly, that's the biggest reason for that for me, that it felt like maybe he wasn't as invested, and Jamari's here, and I felt like maybe he's more invested in being good now with that team. So, hey man, I really appreciate you jumping in to help me out with this prediction video. This is almost all the videos we need so we can release and let you all know your teams and share your teams. And we want to get this season started. Obviously, it's about 2 weeks out. Hang in there with us. If you're listening till now, bless you. And yeah, have a blast. Stay a while. Thanks, guys.